My name is Genilce. I'm the care navigator for the MetroWest Connection navigation line, and I help folks to find services in the MetroWest area.
And you find yourself helping a lot of immigrants and a lot of people that were in the same situation you were?
Yes, so I grew up in the MetroWest area, and I find, myself helping folks in the same situation that I was growing up here.
And what do you like about the work you do or the community here?
Yes, I enjoy it because I find myself helping people in the same situations, and that means a lot to me. Staying grounded in the same area that I grew up, and also living, the same situations, and being able to say, hey, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do because I've been there.
Yeah.
So that's really important to me, to help those that been there, that I've been in the same situation.
Giving back and being able to, I lived your experience, so I know what to do. I know who to call. So that's powerful.
Yeah. So reliving, what I've been through, my struggles, helps me to, I guess, just stay, alive and being grateful and thankful.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you so much.
My name is Nick Peace. I go to Natick High School and I'm in 12th grade. To me, community means a lot of things. I think that one of them is a bond that a lot of people share, something that people can fall back on and have trust in others. Like in my school, I feel that everyone knows each other and everyone's nice to each other. And it's just a very good environment. I feel that even though everyone is connected, there's still people who look down on other people and people who don't treat people the same way as they treat other people. So I think that everyone should be treated and respected the same way, but I don't feel that sometimes in my community. One thing that I really love about my community is just the connection to people. I love that you can go around the school and just say, oh, what's up, man? How you doing? And just people will talk, and just it's very fun to just interact with other people, knowing that they have mostly your best interests at heart.
Well, community means, to me, it's a tribe where people are interested in each other, helping each other, feeling each other. Well, I find community at the senior centers in the MetroWest area towns. I find community wherever there are seniors. I think people should know that seniors are not always likely to ask for help or accept help. And they need help. How do I contribute? I hope I do. I hope I bring peace, health, joy, by teaching seniors Tai Chi and meditation and healthy eating and pain relief and just knowing someone else cares. A funny story at a memory care unit that I was at, and we were picking apples. We were breathing in, breathing out, picking apples. And I said I try to be very entertaining, and I said afterward, I said, so how do you feel? And they're saying, oh, I feel good, and oh yeah, it's great. And this one lady says, I feel great. I threw every last one of those apples at you. And I went, oh, like this. Well, I just talked my way out of it and moved along in the class. And at the end of the class, I give handouts, and this handout was about hugs. And so I gave one to each person, and I said, so if you want a hug, well before COVID, if you want a hug, that's great. But if you don't, I won't take it personally. I'm good. You don't have to. So I'm going along, and everybody's hugging me, and I'm coming up to her, and I'm going, uh-oh. She could kind of hurt me if she wanted to, because they do get angry. And when I got to her, I said, well, And she goes like this, she says, "Bring it in, doll." She gave me a big hug. And every week after that, she loved me. She never wanted to throw the apples at me anymore and this and that. So, you know, if I can do that just once.
So I'm Susan Ramsey. I'm the Community Services Director for the town of Natick. So now I have the broader responsibility and oversight of Council on Aging and Human Services, Veteran Services, Recreation and Parks, our Natick Community Organic Farm, and also Sassaman Trace Golf Course. The thing I've most enjoyed about working in Natick is the strong sense of community. The town itself is rich with resources, and the town is very supportive and generous, I feel, to its residents in offering a myriad of programs and services for people of all abilities and all walks of life. One of the things that I've promoted and try to exploit here at the Natick Community Senior Center is to develop partnerships with our community. It helps us to extend our reach in terms of services that people most need in an accessible, convenient location. So it's been great to partner with MAB. We've partnered with Natick Community Organic Farm. 2 years ago, we were recognized with a national award from the National Council on Aging for developing a senior farm share program. So it's a single-sized share of fresh produce that's delivered by Council on Aging volunteers from the farm to local seniors. So that's been really exciting for us as well. I'll be turning 69 this year, so I do hope that I will be retiring no later than in my 70th year. So likely I will stay here in MetroWest as well. I've been fortunate to participate in different programs and services, and hope to do that even more once I bridge into retirement.
So how I contribute to my community is I stay available for the person in need. I do a lot of homeless outreaching. On the weekends, I do twice every month. I go out and feed the homeless community, as well as try to get them into detox and residential services if they're struggling with substance abuse. Anytime someone needs of help, I become available. I try to get outside of my own self just to help someone that is really in need.
My name is Lynda Isaacs. I lived in Ashland for the past 2.5 years. I grew up in Framingham and my whole life. So I'm a local, I'm kind of a townie. I would say community, to me community means not just a place where you live. To me it means like fellowship. It means that engagement. It is easy when you're as you go through life, whatever community you live in, that you're kind of living in isolation from your neighbors and everyone else, and it's easy to just get in that mode because you have work, children, whatever responsibilities you're doing. It's easy to get into that routine, and I'm hoping to kind of get involved in and have my family involved in, have people get to know us more, and to have that engagement for ourselves as adults, but also our children. My husband introduced me to St. Andrew's a few years ago within our church community. We've gotten to know the many members there, and so and especially since we've been there for such a long time, you start to feel like family, right? So that's another kind of community circle. Going back to that whole definition of community, I think fellowship is key. Just knowing your neighbor beyond, just seeing a familiar face.
My name is Luiz Thomas da Costa. I'm from Brazil. I immigrated to the US in 2007. Right to this area, we had relatives here. My wife had relatives here, so that's why we came. We came for something that at that point didn't work. We ended up staying, and the very reason we stayed, it's because this is a great area. We were very well received here as immigrants. I certainly can say that this is a very welcoming community. There were exceptions, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Overall, we were well received by the community in general. We got help when we needed help, including from the MetroWest free medical program, from local churches, from other entities in the area. We got opportunity, which is all we asked. And with that opportunity, we were able to really thrive in the community. Nowadays, we are doing very well. We have a business, a thriving business, always in this very community that we live. And because of the opportunities and because of the welcoming, the open arms that the community has. And because of that, we also are inspired to give back. So as an individual, as a family, as a business, we participate in several give back programs to several institutions, including also the MetroWest free medical program, employment options, and others. So this is a great community, and I'm glad to be here.
Hi, I'm Evie, and I live in Framingham. I've lived there since 1985. I worked for almost 30 years with the Department of Developmental Services. I've retired from the state, but I am working part-time with the Massachusetts Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. It's a program teaching assistive technology to visually impaired seniors, and it takes place at the Natick Senior Center. So I'm very fortunate because I have transportation through the MetroWest ride, which is a great resource actually. So it can get me from my home in Framingham to about 9 or 10 other communities. So that's a great resource. And then I also have a part-time situation at Callahan Senior Center in Framingham. I lead a low vision support group there that consists of about approximately 10 people, and we meet on a monthly basis. The other good thing about living in Framingham is it is a diverse community, and you do get to meet a lot of different people. So that's been a great experience as well. I probably wouldn't want to move too far away from Framingham if I had to move. But yeah, for now, I'm very happy with living there and the resources that it's availed to me. Thanks.
My name is Visi. I live in Ashland, Massachusetts with my husband and 2 kids. I am a writer and an artist, and I also volunteer at several communities around town. Community is a very versatile thing for me. I find community in several places, and the most unique of places, I think. Like I may find community at the bus stop while I'm waiting for the school bus to arrive. Community can be my artist group where we do art together. Community is in my writers group where we sit down and do write-a-thons together. It comes from so many different areas. Community comes from multiple people, but similar lines of thinking, similar thought, similar needs and support. So when I moved here 20 years ago, Ashland was a very different place. It was not as diverse as it is today. I found myself to be one of the few people of color in this area. And within 5 years, that changed. I mean, the newer developments opened up, and there were like so many young people moving in, so many people from different cultures and heritages. And I think that really enriched this area so much. For example, one of the things that happened over the last couple of years is Ashland Public Schools started declaring Diwali as a holiday, which was really nice for us, for the Indian families. Diwali is a festival of lights that's celebrated. It runs on the lunar calendar, so it's on a different date every year. But it usually falls like the end of October, early November timeframe, just before Hanukkah and Christmas. So all these festivals of light, the theme is the same, right? I mean, the whole idea is bring light. Let's get rid of the darkness and let's bring light into our lives. And it's been beautiful to see light come into our community from so many different cultures. And one of the things that I'm so happy that I was a part of is we introduced something called the Culture Fest at the Corner Spot. The Corner Spot is a public space, kind of a park, kind of a place where pop-ups show up. So we have food, we have art, we have music, we have dance from different parts of the globe. And it's a really fun place to be.
Well, my name is Jesus. I live in Worcester, Massachusetts, and I work at the MetroWest YMCA. Community. What it means to me, I think, and it's not even I think, I feel community means to me. It's just, I think of love. I think of having compassion for one another, getting to know one another. I miss the days of, you step out and you see your neighbor and you could just talk forever with your neighbor. I come from Brooklyn, where I used to remember my best friend's aunts and ma and grandma used to sit right in the corner, and they used to sit in their chairs and talk about all night about everything. And guess who used to be there? Myself and all the other kids, and we would just listen and talk, and time would go forever. So that was there. And so, eventually I ended up moving to Massachusetts, and all of a sudden I didn't notice, but I was hungered for that. I was looking for that type of community again. Believe it or not, I found the MetroWest YMCA in Framingham's, Schools Out listing in the newspaper. I started working at the Schools Out, OST, out of school time, and I worked at McCarthy Elementary School in Framingham. The amount of kids I had, that was my community. I was basically blessed to see these kids grow from being in kindergarten all the way to college, to coming to being their first job with me, giving them some life skills, seeing them just grow as humans. And I was there, I wrote recommendation letters, and now to know that I know some of these kids are in Boston being engineers, some are actually gym teachers, a lot of them are in the education field and they are teachers. And every now and then they check in with me and they see how I'm doing. And I think, that was the main goal for me. I wanted to be as positive as I can be, and be that role model and be that consistent entity. That's why I never missed work, and I used to always get in trouble about my vacation times, not taking them, but I just enjoyed what I did, and see the smiles and just see the growth in these kids. So that's one thing I do teach my counselors, my staff. Make sure that you truly be invested in your kids. And that's what I do. And that's what community is. It's just the love that you should have for your area, for the people in those areas.
Hi, I'm Debi Dupree. I live in Hopedale right now. I'm 65 years old. I have 2 daughters and my husband. I was born and brought up in the great good old town of Natick, Massachusetts, and I loved growing up in Natick. Natick, Massachusetts, to me, was the greatest town to grow up in. Everybody knew each other in the town of Natick. My dad was a firefighter in Natick. My mom worked at the Natick Trust Company in Natick. I went to Natick schools. It was just a great town to grow up in. In Natick, and in MetroWest. We have great stores, we have great schools, we have the Natick Mall that we used to go to, we had Shoppers World that we go to. MetroWest was just a very awesome town and a great community to raise children, schooling for children. It was just a great town to live in, and I enjoyed it.
Hi, my name is Nunda, and I'm from Birmingham, Massachusetts, and I go to Suffolk University. Community means to me my friends and my mentors. I always go by the motto, friends are the family in which you decide. A mentor told me about that, and I think it's very important because I come from a broken family, so I love to find family with my friends and mentors. I find myself inclined to be with other mentors and other adults because I find that really comforting. And my friends, I always try to be with them and I always support them. They're like my family. So I'm from downtown Framingham, and it's so diverse. We have so many people, POC, including me and my family, and my other family. It's just very great, and I know that I'll always find a sense of community at the parks because I live right next to a park. And obviously, Framingham High, it was very diverse. It's like one of the most diverse schools in our city. It's really great. And our mayor was POC, our first one.
September of 2019. My non-heart attack, electrical heart attack, where I personally don't remember anything, but because of living here and having access to top-notch health care, I'm still here. Good or bad, it's your choice. But for me, it was good because I'm here.
Yes. So, I mean, what's really interesting about being a police officer and a nurse in our communities is how much the job intertwines each other. For example, when I first became a police officer in Framingham, I was teaching CPR, first responder. I was a nurse at the hospital. And then I realized that we didn't have any AEDs out in the community. So I worked with the MetroWest Health Foundation, got a grant, and Framingham was the first police department to put AEDs in all of their cruisers. If I remember correctly, the first night we actually had the AEDs in our car. We had a save in Framingham. And I've been working throughout my whole career, making sure the police departments in MetroWest have AEDs. We've even extended the training to a lot of our school bus drivers, teachers, other things like that that we've done. So what's really interesting about policing is that it intertwines with the community, with healthcare. Listen, there are police officers out there, they come in, they answer calls, that's all they do. I haven't done that my whole career. I've made sure that anytime there's a problem or an area that we could focus on, I've intertwined the two.
Where do I find community? I find it in lots of different pockets, let me just say that. Certainly my own community where I live, Hopkinton. Been a resident for over 25 years, lots of good friends, that sense of knowing pretty much everybody and, feeling a real connection. But also community with my work colleagues, with my MetroWest family, my MetroWest Y family, in lots of different ways, in lots of different pockets. When I first got involved with the Y was when, my kids went to the outdoor center, but to really sort of meet some, the leadership of the MetroWest Y and to hear the broader impact of the Y in this area, certainly sparked my interest. So you have this opportunity to get involved in any area of interest that you want, whether it's town governance. I serve on the personnel committee here in Hopkinton, or whether you're active with town meeting and you read the articles, you pay attention, and you want to have a voice there. That's a community within, this wonderful community of Hopkinton. I always enjoyed the social side of things, having a full-time job and so forth. So it was my relaxation to get involved here in Hopkinton. And I founded a very popular Facebook page over 10 years ago, Real Housewives of Hopkinton. I wish I had named it that. I did not expect it to take off as it did. It was just going to be a few of my closest friends in Hopkinton. It still exists, and we're at over 4,500 women, primarily from Hopkinton, but around the MetroWest area. It has been used to raise awareness of things going on in town. We're sharing, updates about, what's going on politically, socially, business-wise. People do make friends off the pages, just in terms of sharing interests there, and that's a wonderful thing. So it has that offshoot, so you don't have to break the ice. You show up at a Center for the Arts event, and hi, you feel like you know people, you've seen their face a million times, you've engaged online, and so all of these things, make define community, and have knitted me to this community.
Mi nombre es John Pérez, vivo aquí en el área de Framingham. Este lugar de Framingham ha sido de gran enseñanza y de gran experiencia, la cual es un lugar tranquilo y agradable. Recibí varias ayudas de varias agencias, una de ellas lo fue y es la Comisión de los Ciegos. En esa agencia recibí ayuda de orientación y movilidad a través de la señora Jill. En el área de tecnología aprendí muchas destrezas necesarias para el diario vivir, la cual el maestro fue Jerry Feliz. Y el pasatiempo, la cual me puedo relajar la mente y mantenerme activo, pues salir a caminar, interactuar un poco y ser más activo, la cual vivo aquí en el país solo, no tengo familiares cercanas, y a través de eso pues he aprendido muchas cosas buenas y bonitas para seguir luchando y seguir perseverando.
My name's Harry Wareham. I'm a lieutenant with the Framingham Police, and today I am honored to have the pleasure to interview Helen Lemoyne, who is currently the director of the MetroWest Leadership Academy. I'm going to interview her today about her role in the community, and this is a class project that we're working on. So Helen, the first question is, what community are you from?
Well, first of all, thanks, Harry. It's a pleasure to be doing this with you. I live in Framingham, and I have been here for 45 years, living in the same house. And it's hard to imagine, it's been 45 years. My husband and I raised our 2 children here, and now we've got 3 grandchildren. 2 of them are living right here in Framingham and the other in Natick. So we're pretty rooted in the community, even though we weren't born and raised here. We've been here long enough that this truly feels like our community.
That's good, Framingham, but you're not just part of the Framingham community because of your job.
That's right, that's right.
So what do you think about your MetroWest community?
I love the MetroWest community. I love it as much as I love my community of Framingham, because for the past 30 years I have been affiliated with the Leadership Academy and Leadership MetroWest, the nonprofit organization that offers the program. And because of that, I get to know and explore and meet people from 10 communities in MetroWest that are the kind of the footprint or the service area of the Leadership Academy. So I've gotten to know the people in those communities. I've gotten to know the leaders of those communities. And so I really feel like I'm like a MetroWest person as much as a Framingham person.
person.
Yeah. And I'm lucky because not everybody gets that opportunity to, to have as big a community as I feel like I'm part of.
Thank you, thank you. What would you say, you're retiring this year, I found that out, and you've been a staple of the MetroWest and the MetroWest Leadership Academy. What would you say if you had to say, pick one thing that you most appreciate that you contributed to the MetroWest Leadership Academy?
Yeah, that's a good question and a hard question.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
But I think it's, I get the most reward and personal satisfaction of helping other people get connected to their community and to the greater MetroWest community. And I have that opportunity because every year I meet 30 new people that are part of the Leadership Academy, like you this year. And we get to explore each of the communities. We get to meet leaders and go to different organizations and institutions and do site visits. And during that time, the 30 people in the class each year have the chance to get to know their own community and the communities around them. So I think that's the most rewarding for me, is helping other people get connected to their community.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank you for, number one, having me as a student in your class. It's been a pleasure. I've learned a lot.
Oh, good.
And anytime you can get outside of, the law enforcement bubble and get into classes with other people from other professions, it's always a learning experience.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank you for all your hard work, and thank you for being here today with me.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you in the class this year, knowing that it's my last opportunity to have a group of people that are passionate about their community. And that's why, that's why they're in the program to begin with, is because they love where they are, they want to get more connected, and they want to meet new people, like you said, outside the bubble of their own profession. And it gives them a chance to figure out if there's something in their own community that they might want to get involved in. And I love that. That's the piece I love the most.
Well, thank you. That's a wrap.